Welcome everybody to this week's KubeVirt community meeting. It is the 18th of March, 2026. I hope you're all having a wonderful day wherever and whenever you are. Is there anyone here who is joining us for the first time this week or hasn't introduced themselves and would like to take this opportunity now? I'll take that as a no, and we will jump into our agenda. So, quick check of the schedule. This is largely performative because it was updated about an hour ago. And the first point on our agenda is the fact that it has been delayed. It is now going to be the 25th of March, next Wednesday. This shouldn't be a surprise. I think we've talked about this for at least a month and a half or so, with CDI roughly a week behind. But that's not usually a consistent thing. Yep, that's been FYI that happened. And there's also a note that we will get to further down here, that we have the 1.9 schedule proposed. So check that out in the meantime. Upcoming CFP check-in, I think from memory, we've got KubeCon Cloud Native Con Japan, which closes in a little over a week's time. That's at the end of July. And next week, a whole bunch of us are going to be at KubeCon in Amsterdam. You can see a list of the sessions there. We also have a booth in the afternoons. That's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And on Thursday, we also have KubeVirt Summit Live. That's going to run from, I think it's 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. And we've got a whole bunch of great talks. So if you are going to be at KubeCon, I highly recommend coming along, or at the very least, dropping by the booth and saying good day. All right. And calendar check-in. Got two new meetings on the calendar. So obviously we've got SIG Compute straight after this, and then Visual Code Quality and SIG Perf and Scale. New meeting is SIG Control Plane. So that's going to be every second week starting tomorrow. And it's going to alternate with another new meeting, which is the AIE Working Group. See if I can remember what this is. This is the Accelerated Infrastructure Enablement Working Group. I think that's the A, correct me if I'm wrong. So they're basically going to alternate, but are going to be at the same time every week, I believe. In about 2 weeks' time, I think a whole bunch of countries are going to change times, which will wreak its usual havoc on meeting times. Also next week, we have SIG Network, SIG Storage, and it's our confidential computing working group week on top of our usual CI observability meetings. Next week, I'm going to be at KubeCon. A few other people are going to be at KubeCon. Is there anyone who is able to put their hand up and say, I would like to moderate the meeting? Otherwise, we'll cancel it. We've cancelled it during KubeCon in the past. I've lost where my thing is. Also, let me put the agenda into chat just in case anyone doesn't have it. I don't see anyone jumping up and down to moderate the meeting, so I will look for someone. Otherwise, we will cancel next week. Let me see.
Which meeting? I'm sorry.
This meeting, the KubeVirt community meeting.
If it's for Wednesday the 25th, I can do it.
Awesome, awesome. I think that was Aurel's voice.
Right.
Right. Sounds so different. Perfect. Thank you very much. All right, the meeting will go ahead. Speaking of go ahead, Itamar, you've been very patiently waiting for this.
Yeah, I actually just noted that I moved it to the second spot, but actually I think that Nir is the one wanted to talk about it. So Nir, do you want to go ahead?
Yeah, so I'd like to talk about the once per ordered label that we have in the tests in the end-to-end test. It was introduced a year ago as a pilot for SIG network to only experiment with it. What it does is it lets you run multiple tests on a single set of VMs instead of having to restart and delete VMs at the end of your test. And so the advantage is that it saves a lot of time that it takes to delete the VMs and start the VMs. And it also improves stability because having to delete VMs and restart VMs is affects stability. Anyway, so for the past year, SIG Network has been working with it, and we've had some PRs that utilized it and showed improvement. And now we have another PR in SIG Compute that wants to use this this feature and wants to open this feature to be available to all the SIGs. Now, about last year, there were a few people who opposed to this solution. We don't recall exactly who it was, but the main argument was that since the label is only applied to ordered tests, then it affects randomization. However, Eddie proved that we do not use randomization anyway, since we have a fixed seed and basically been running in the same order for a few years now.
Well, it's
So
not to
it's not
fix it.
whatever. We're not changing the. We're not really running in any kind of randomization. So that that argument is not really valid against it, and so I would like to hear if there's anybody who still opposes this this feature, and if not, we will open that feature up to other SIGs to use. And I'll do like Daniel Hiller does. He says he counts to 3, and there's if nobody says anything, then it's approved.
Yeah, sorry. Let me jump in. I was just in another conversation. My question here is, what is the current like state of of a pushback? Who is against what? And I was really difficult for me to to understand what the current problem is.
Yeah, so we don't know that anybody is against it. Still, Antonio was against it, but he's no longer on the working in KubeVirt.
Mhm.
So I don't know if anybody else is still objecting to it. Just want to make sure.
I just want to. I think that at least Felix, I think he had some thoughts about it, but I don't remember specifically. Yeah, I see Lubo and Itamar have their hands up, so please speak up.
Lubo, do you want to go first?
Yeah. I have a simple question. Do you have a documentation how to use it? Best practices when it's not suitable? Because I think this is this might bite us back.
It's not exactly documentation. I think it was documented in the PR, but it was a year ago, so I don't exactly remember. But if that's what your request, then I will do that.
Yeah, at bare minimum, I would at least want us to have a document in the repo explaining how to use it.
Sure thing.
Yeah, so two things that I wanted to say. So first of all, in the original PR, I think that many people have actually raised a lot of concerns regarding it. I think it was Daniel, Lubo, Federico, Antonio. That's just what I remember. But there was like a real pushback there. So if the folks can just relook at the PR and maybe make the comments there, it would be great. My personal opinion is that basically the highest concern here is to lock ourselves to run the test in the order that they appear on the file. Now, since Eddie says this is already the case, the concern is pretty much reduced. I do think that we need to change this, right? And ONSI also already suggested to add a decorator, especially for us, but it just wanted for us to commit for using it before it creates it, because it didn't want to create a decorator that nobody uses, which is a fair request. So basically, my opinion is that there are tests that if the randomization is not longer a concern, then sure, there are tests when it makes sense to use a single VM for multiple tests, and I think we should maybe relax the linter on a per test basis, not just remove it as the original state of the PR suggested, but to relax it to specific tests that we think are suited for that. So in general, I think it kind of makes sense. I do hope that in parallel we will try to pursue true randomization of our CI tests, because executing them by their order is not ideal. Yeah, that's just my opinion. But I do invite everyone to look at the PR and comment and review it and share your opinions. Federico, what do you think?
Hi. Hey, yeah. First of all, yeah, I was one, against the original usage. Of course, the missing randomization. I mean, the already missing randomization is reducing, I will say the possible issues here. But I still think that we should. I mean, if we lack on randomization, this doesn't mean that we don't need to aim on using it. And if we do that, of course, this will conflict with this order. So we probably need also to see what is our strategy in the long term, because we can adopt the order decorator now, but then if we want to switch back to randomization, they're kind of fight each other. And second of all, I'm just concerned about I'm not against it. I'm just concerned about the failures, because if there are some failures and you share the VM, there could be probably a possibility that all false positive, which are not so good, because maybe it could be that a test is passing because of the order of the test. And yeah, I mean, yeah, sorry for the confusion. I'm not totally against it. I mean, I think that in some edge cases we can use it, but not in spread it in all the code base. I would say I think that it would be can have some disadvantages, I would say. I don't know who too many. Oh, I can lower my hand. I don't know who comes first. So roll the dice.
It was Luba, but I don't know if Nir wants to respond to anything that's been said by Inamara and then Federica.
Yeah, I just want to emphasize that in parallel, I will reach out to ONSI again and request to start developing that feature if he's still up to it. I don't know if he's willing to commit to it now or not, but I will try reaching out to him just to remind you what he suggested to do is to create a feature that supports that without being forced to retain the order. So it will work in randomization. This is what he suggested, but it's a big work for him. It's not something light for him. But I will try to request that he does it, and I will commit that we will use it, because once we have some tests that already use it, then it'll be very easy to just convert it to the new label or whatever mechanism that ONSI exposes.
Luba, do you want to say something? And then I think we might need to time box this, get through a few other things with gender, and then come back to this if we have some time.
Go for it.
No, do you want to say something? You've had your hand up for a while.
Yeah, I mean, for the randomization, you mentioned that currently the randomization is not working already for the test suite.
Yeah,
Yes,
Eddie
it's
can.
not working. It's not working, yes.
We are, as far as I know, we are using always the same seed.
No, we don't use the same seed. We use a randomized seed, but that's not the reason it's not working.
Eddie, can you ping it privately with the explanation, because this is something which I was not aware of. It goes against all my knowledge, so I would like to know more about it. Thank
I
you.
will give you a sentence after my turn comes.
Thank you.
You might not get a turn because I'm going to just quickly go ahead on a few things because we've got 10 minutes left for this session. We've got a whole bunch of stuff to get through. So do we want to break this out into a Slack conversation or on the mailing list?
I suggest we continue this conversation elsewhere because it's really important. So
Okay.
maybe we can continue on Slack or maybe create a dedicated meeting. But I think that we need to discuss this.
Okay. We'll try and get through the next few things, and then hopefully we'll have a few minutes at the end. We can come back to this. Sorry about that. Daniel, you've got the next point.
Yeah, so I just wanted to raise attention to the email that I wrote to the mailing list around like probably shortening stale, rotten, closed cycle times, whatever. The current suggestion is to shorten the stale time to 45 days, which is like around similarly to like, which gives it a little bit of wiggle room for like being out for vacation and stuff, so that people can return without other things getting stale on them. So and there is also like I just wanted to raise that there might also be like a possibility to split issue staleness and PR staleness into two parts. But yeah, so I'm undecided, and I would really appreciate more opinions on this. That's basically what I'm asking for. Thanks.
Yep. Thank you for that. Join the conversation on the mailing list linked there. I have 3/4 of a response typed out. So I'll leave it for that. Just quickly, we also have the 1.9 release scheduled there. So, please check that out and raise any flags if need be. Something that is crossed out. Looks like Daniel's answered it ahead of time. And then I see if you wanted to ask a question about the AI policy.
Yes, so I was thinking about the AI policy. Currently, we only ask that contributors put in the Git commit message like that they used AI, and that's it. You know, the commit could span multiple files. The commit or the PR could span multiple files, and I'm not sure if the initial goals that we had in mind with the AI contribution policy are fulfilled with like just that. And I don't know if this would be too annoying to contributors, or whether it would be worth, whether it would actually be worth um, asking contributors to write a short statement either in the commit or the PR about how AI was used. Was it used as like just overall uh, partner for discussing design, and it wasn't like actually using code, or was it used to write test, or did it write this one snippet here? Just a thought. I don't know. What
Yeah,
does everyone think?
sorry. Yeah, thank you for the feedback. Like I sent out an email recently about the AR contributions that were tagged as part of the release 1.8 kind of branch. Yeah, the metadata that we've got at the moment could be potentially improved. At the same time, I'm very hesitant to get in the way anymore of devs in terms of asking them to, populate the Git message or even the PR with more kind of information about how they've done things. I'm hoping that someone comes up with a way of capturing this stuff in a more kind of transparent to the dev kind of yeah, the person that's actually working on this stuff, like this is just something that would happen in the background and get captured in the commit as metadata, and we could potentially pull from that in the future. I don't really want to ask people to go in and say, dump your prompt into the commit message or dump your prompt into the PR,
Yeah,
even stuff like
I
that.
can
So
imagine that would probably be too annoying. I was thinking more like one sentence, right? So we at least have an idea of how AI was used, because otherwise I think like there's kind of like not a lot of point. At least these were my personal thoughts anyway.
yeah, like this initial iteration was just to capture that folks are using AI tools and which tools they're using predominantly, and to see if there's anything for those specific tools that we need to address. If it's, Claude MD, Agent MD, if it's some other tooling that would help, create more accurate PRs and commits and everything. But yeah, as a next step, potentially something like this would be useful. But like I said, my personal preference is to like avoid getting in the way of folks. But if you've got ideas, like you can create a PR against the policy document itself, and we can kind of work through some suggestions there and bring them back to the community as well before moving forward with anything.
Lubo, are you still got your hand up from before? Or?
Yeah, apologies.
Oh, sorry. Daniel.
Yeah, so I think I so basically I think that it is really a good idea to somehow like somehow jot down what the AI actually did. I think that would be helpful. Which brings me to another thing that might be like exceeding this conversation overall, but I'm just wanted to know. So I mean, we can also learn from these contributions on how which AI was being effectively used. So I think that there is value in that somehow. But Lee, neither am I somehow sure how to even phrase that. So to add this ask somehow. So I think we probably need like a discussion elsewhere where we can talk about how we are using AI, or like the contributors already using AI, and like external contributors are using AI, and how we can make it clear for reviewers of PRs how those basically like yeah, so how those PRs are being basically created, whether they are just created by Claude by entering a prompt, or whether they are just like giving food for thought to the author of the PR somehow. So that's largely different. So yeah, but yeah, this is just my mumbling. So so okay, I'll shut up now.
Yeah, It sounds like it's worthwhile putting ideas onto the thing as Lee suggested, and then that might be a good seed for a follow-up discussion. Ritanka, you wanted to take a quick minute? We've got a couple of minutes left to talk about Google.
Well, nothing much from my side. Like I had made a couple of contributions to which Felix and Asif looked into. And yeah, and I have also like made the chosen two of project ideas for this GSOC term. And I have already sent the research doc to Felix and got his suggestions on it. And I will be sending him the proposal by tonight or tomorrow, max. And maybe, is there anyone else I can send the proposal to get a review on, or like only Felix? I have also sent it to Urel, and yeah. So yeah, that's all from my side. Made a few contributions, chosen ideas, and sent up the proposals for review. The final proposal submission through GSOC is on 31st. So yeah, we'll refine it by then from Felix's suggestions and anyone else's suggestions and put it up. That's all from my side. Is there anyone else I can send the proposal to for a review?
I'll let them throw their name into chat if they do want to volunteer. And just in the last minute here, I'm going to quickly run through a couple of things that have been on the mailing list, which has been blowing up in the past week. So this is from last week's agenda that we didn't get to. KubeVirt Client Go is a conversation bubbling away. There is now a PR. It does have some reviews on it, but as always, more is good. Speaking of reviews, Mark kindly put together, synthesized some of the discussion in the last few weeks about our need for reviewers. There's some great resources in there. Basically, we want you and you don't need to be an official reviewer to review. And if you would like some help or some guidance, please reach out. We have about the commit message guidelines. There's a link to a PR there. I think it was Lee pointed out in VEP 233 that we have a lot of branches, 60 something. And so maintaining a sensible end of life policy with regards to those is there. And also a conversation about turning beta features on by default, I think started by Inma. So a lot of interesting things happening on the mailing list. We don't have time to go into them now. That basically brings us to time. We've got SIG Compute coming up. Does anyone have anything, a burning desire to get anything off the chest just before we finish for this week? Alrighty. Regarding the conversation that Nir started, do we want to dedicate 20 minutes next week for that to go ahead in the community meeting? Does that make sense? What do you want to set up it?
Sure.
Next week is a KubeCon, so the attendance might be a little bit lower.
That is also true. Which case, is there a place? I see there's a PR mentioned here. Is there a different PR that people can put their thoughts onto, or is this the one?
I need to list the original PR there. This is just a PR that uses this. The original PR is not there in the notes. I'll put it there.
It might be worthwhile sending a quick thing to the mailing list as well, just to get more eyes onto it, and then it can potentially have the conversation carry over in the mailing list itself as well.
Yeah, good idea.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone for being here and for having me too. It's a good thing that we keep running out of time in this community meeting. So I'll let you all go over to SIG Compute now. Thanks a lot, and see you in a couple of weeks. Thanks. Bye.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.